I'm a proud member here at Brook-Lea Country Club and tournament chairman for the Danielle Downey Classic for the second year. We've got some great new things to talk about with you today, and just really want to talk a little bit about some of the things that made our first year so successful. We were really, really happy with the way everything went, and so many of the things that were here last year will be back. Nancy Lopez is returning to be our honorary chair for the second year, and that's very, very exciting. She can't wait. She just loves Rochester, and if you were here last year, you saw how she just shook every hand and signed every autograph and talked to every person. And it just really made a great tie to our long history of 40 years now, 40 years of women's professional golf here in Rochester, and that's unprecedented. So Nancy's going to come. We're excited about that. Toyota will be back as our official vehicle. They will not be our title sponsor this year, but they're going to come and do the same things they did last year. We were able to negotiate a little different deal with them because I think we had a great opportunity for a new title sponsor with some incredible reach, and we'll talk to you about that. Dunkin' Donuts will be back, so I know those of you who love the free donuts, that's a huge win for us. Honestly, our great players, and I think they're our best asset that we have that graced us and came here and competed so hard every day, will be back. Many of them will. Many of them have graduated to the LPGA. And I kind of want to give you, we sell this as much like I had lunch with Dan Mason, who is the GM of the Rochester Red Wings, and we were talking about how similar our sales pitch has to be, that you're going to see people who, in a few years, are going to be the stars of tomorrow, and you may not know it when you're watching them here, but pay attention, and then you'll see these people in huge roles down the road. Well, our champion last year was Annie Park. It was her 4th professional event, and I had a guy come up to me about 3 weeks before the event and said, "You know who's going to win your tournament? Annie Park." And I'd never heard of Annie, and I am a golf geek. I mean, I know everybody. And I said, "Who is Annie Park?" And he said, "She won the NCAA, she won the Pac-12, great player, she's from Long Island, and she's really a big-time talent." And Annie came in here and shot 16 under par and won the tournament, beating Vicki Hurst, who's a Solheim Cup veteran and one of the best players in the world at times during her career, in an amazing 18th hole finish, a one-shot win. And Annie ends up being the #1 money winner on the tour in only 11 events. She won 3 tournaments, and she's already had a top 10 finish this year on the LPGA. So you talk about stars of tomorrow. It was really tomorrow. I mean, she came here and became a star overnight. And we had Brooke Henderson here last year, and Brooke was 17 years old. We knew Brooke was pretty good because she took 5th in the U.S. Open and 5th in the LPGA Championship. We were really lucky that she was 17 because she couldn't get status on LPGA without a win. So she went to Toledo to try to Monday qualify out there, didn't make it, and came here, and we have her here all week, and she took top 10 here. 3 weeks later, okay, this isn't like years later, 3 weeks later, she got into the Portland tournament on the LPGA and won by 8 shots. She shot 21 under on the LPGA and is now full status. She ended up winning about $750,000 as a 17-year-old, and she's a star with 2 top 10 finishes already this year. So you're seeing great players here, and I think that's my point. And they're going to be known quickly. And we're really pleased. We've got two great professionals here today that you'll hear from. And I want to talk just a second about Brook-Lea and the way our course stacked up. The players will tell you more, but Sean Downey, our super, did an amazing job. Our food service staff just did a great job with all of our events. We had great parties all week. This was really a fun place to be, and it will be again. We plan to replicate it all, and our golf course stacks up so well. So many people who had never been to Brook-Lea came here and said, "Has this always been here?" And yeah, only about 80 years, but it's just a gem of a course, and we're so happy to have a tournament here so the community can embrace Brook-Lea and see just what a beautiful place it is. We had people from out of town that came in and just marveled at the course. So it really is a great club and a great course. We're so happy to have our members support us. We had 21 members who chaired subcommittees for the tournament last year. On their own time, they volunteered, they kicked in. Danielle Downey's sister Erica headed our housing operation last year, and we had 100+ players in housing. Everyone who wanted a place to stay got a place to stay. I heard of other tournaments that got 6 players in housing. You know, this community, this club, and our volunteers were amazing. And so we think we have one of the best tournaments on the tour. We've only been around 1 year. and we just can't wait to showcase our club again and our wonderful golf community. It'll be the 40th year of golf, as I said. And what I want to tell you now is some very exciting news. The name of the tournament this year will be the Danielle Downey Credit Union Classic. And the credit union term is a conglomerate of credit unions. We've got about a dozen credit unions and credit union partners that have combined together to give us amazing coverage. And, people said, well, why would credit unions do this? Well, we do this every day. And I'm going to have one of our credit union CEOs come up and speak to you about how credit unions think and why we can sponsor events together. Tom Danborough from Family First is here. Jeff Bokosh from Advantage is here. And certainly some of the other folks here from credit unions. But the credit union exposure that we're going to get will get the word out to 250,000 to 300,000 credit union members in the community. We're going to hear about our tournament. We're going to have a title sponsor that wants them to know that they're involved, that are going to reach out and get people to know that this thing's going on. And you're going to see our crowds double this year. There's not a doubt in my mind. Whereas last year we were close to 10,000, this year we expect to be at 20,000. And it's just going to be that much more of a big-time feel. And with that, I'd love to introduce Tom Danborough from Family First Federal Credit Union to come up and just say a few words on behalf of